Hey guys, this is Stellarum back to play another episode of Kerbal Space Program. So this episode, let me just duck into the mission control. This episode, we're going to take this contract to orbit Kerbin. So it's going to be our first orbit around Kerbin. So we're going to take that. I was looking at these other contracts just before starting the recording here. I think I'm going to accept this one. Test the Terrier liquid fuel engine on escape trajectory. It is something that I think we're going to want to do at some point. It'll give us 9 science. It's a pretty good one. It's only available for 4 hours. And then we have about a year to be able to actually perform this test. Some of these other ones, like in flight, they're under certain conditions. I don't know if I'd really want to do them. But this Terrier engine is certainly something I'm going to want to do at some point. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that. So right now we've hit our max contracts. We still got a couple of speed records and that sort of thing, and then orbiting. So we'll go ahead and make our vehicle to orbit the orbit Kerbin. I guess it should be the Kerbin, like kind of like the Earth, like, but whatever. I'm also going to upgrade my astronaut complex. I want to be able to do an EVA, and then that'll also let me do an EVA to place flags. So I'm going to upgrade that. Let's just see. We do want to get the maneuver nodes at some point. I don't know if we're going to really need that for this episode for the orbit, being able to orbit Kerbin. But we're going to want to upgrade, we need to upgrade both the mission control and the tracking station. The tracking station is definitely a little bit more expensive. And then I think we're also going to need to upgrade, you know what, we'll see if we need to upgrade this. If we don't need to upgrade this, we'll upgrade the mission control right away. And then we'll see how that goes. Now, on top of all this, we also have a bit more R&D to spend. So I'm just going to go in here and take a look. What's in this? So we have a bigger fuel tank available to us, the Terrier engine, which is the one we saw before. So that's not bad. I don't mind going straight for this exploration. It gives us ladders, which can be useful on some of the some on the EVAs and that sort of stuff. But it also gives us a barometer, so that will unlock a bunch more science for us, and it'll just be able to let us kind of backfill this tech tree a bit. So I think I'm gonna go and just go straight for that. The rest of the stuff, I mean, miniaturization. It'd be nice to get the docking port. So that would be nice. Flight control is not terribly important. Construction gives you like the stability things, but we're not really there yet. And then advanced rocketry, it's really just the bigger fuel tank and the Terrier engine, and then also being able to move up to these the fuel systems here with the external ducts, and then the much bigger rockets at some point. But for right now, I think we're going to be okay if we just go with the space exploration, and we'll start backfilling. We should come up to 45 pretty quickly with that first launch. We're going to be able to, that first orbit, we're going to be able to get another one of these. Probably going to go for advanced rocketry, and then we'll see where we want to go after that. After that, we might want to go for fuel systems, unlock the fuel ducts, and that gives us the possibility of like doing asparagus staging and that sort of stuff. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go into the vehicle assembly building, and I'll create, let me just check what our, okay, so we're going to be, cancel. This is going to be Somnia 3, so this is the first orbital mission. Somnia 3, like that. So I'm going to go ahead and construct this vehicle, and I'll be right back. And we're back. So this is our rocket. This is the Somnia 3. I've got Valentina in the pilot seat, ready to earn more experience points. So the total delta V is still a little bit shy. It's about 4,200 meters a second. I've decided to go with two liquid stages that break away on right after takeoff. These have reliant engines. They're a little bit more fuel efficient at sea level than the swivel. I'm going to have the swivel on, but I'm actually going to thrust limit it when we take off. But I'll do that on the pad. Actually, I shouldn't have these there. I should have those underneath like that. But then we need symmetry. There we go. These like that. I ended up having to upgrade the pad. I've got exactly 30 parts, but I was a little bit high on the mass. So I ended up upgrading the pad, although I still had the money to upgrade the mission control, so it's not too bad. I was going to have a science pod, but I couldn't quite get the numbers to work. Even this is kind of, I don't know if I'll be able to get to orbit with this. I might be able to squeeze a little bit more delta V just by limiting the thrust here. So I'll be burning less fuel in the center section, and by the time these break away, I'll be able to throttle this back up, and we'll end up getting more delta V because of that. But it's going to be a little bit tricky, so it's probably not the recommended way, but that's okay. And then the other thing that will really help, I've actually got the Terrier engine for my test, but since it's not really like the test that I'm going to be running, I thought it would be a little bit cheaty to do this and put the Terrier here, and you could see if I do that, I've got loads of delta V. So this Terrier really makes a big difference. But I'm going to try it with this, and if we're not able to get quite to orbit, well, that's what's going to happen. So if we can't quite get there, it's fine. It'd be nice if we can, and maybe we will. I'm not really sure. We'll have to see. So yeah, let's go for this, and we'll see how it goes. Let's just double check our staging. It all looks pretty good. Valentina's in the pilot seat there. We're good to go. So let's launch and see how this goes. Okay, so we're going to get a lot of science from the barometer. I'm going to wait till we're up in the high atmosphere before taking a reading. Actually, I might just wait till we're in space, just because if we don't quite make it to orbit, I want to at least take the atmospheric reading in space. That's going to get us the most science. We're going to be pretty close. We're going to have somewhat of a long-term duration. We might be able to do an EVA, and then we'll take it from there. So I think we're good to go. Let's just go and do that. And we're going to thrust limit you down to 35%. That should be alright. So I'm going to have to watch the fuel gauges here, and when we get down low, I'm going to have to throttle that back up. But for now, that should be good. We're going to turn SAS on, and everything looks good to go. I don't think I really need that. We're going to be able to watch our time to apoapsis and periapsis. We're going to watch that all up here, and that should be good. So let's get going. Maybe we needed a little bit higher. Wasn't thrust limiting all of them, was it? don't know if we're going to get to orbit with this, but we'll see. Course correction. We seem to be going to the south a little bit. Well, that's why. What a derp. I am such a derp. Yeah, so I didn't have my throttle up, so that's why it did that. I was really puzzled there for a second. Okay, let's try to correct our course here. We're going to want to, we're going to have that. Throttle back over 300 meters a second, so that's where we want to be at this stage. Getting pretty close to when I want to throttle back up that main stage. Let's throttle that back up. Down just a little bit. I don't want to get too high over 300, especially this low in the atmosphere. I probably want to save that for a little bit higher up. I should probably start my turn. I'm a little bit late on that, but not too bad. We're about to lose those side ones. There we go, so those are gone. Let's start turning a bit more. Let's accelerate a bit. We're up to 30 kilometers. We got 400 meters a second. So we still have a bunch of delta V we need to add on to our speed. And that's only going to get us to 33. It might be cutting it close. We might be just on the brink of being able to do this, but we'll see how it goes. Definitely wasn't an efficient launch like I was hoping, but that's alright. Coming to the end of this stage. Our apoapsis is up over 50 kilometers, so that's good. You know, we might actually pull this off. We're up to 800 delta V, or meters per second. So we'll see how this goes. This stage has a lot of kick to it. It's got a very, very high thrust to weight ratio, so I can throttle this way down and still get a bunch of acceleration. You know what, I'm going to take this atmospheric scan and the temperature scan, and we'll see if we can get to orbit, and then that way we'll be able to do, let's take a crew report too, because we do have crew reports from space already. So we'll be able to get some signs there at least. Yeah, I think we're gonna make it. Only just, but I do believe we're gonna make it. You know what, I'm gonna slow down because I wanna burn more around apoapsis and use more of my fuel there, my remaining delta V there, because that's where I'm going to be needing it most. Yeah, I'm just going to wait. It's probably going to be about, how many more? We have 12 more seconds of full throttle burn. So I can actually wait until we get to maybe 30 seconds before apoapsis. We're going to be in space at that point. We're going to be above 70 kilometers. So we can look around. We're well into space at this point. So I'm going to wait until we get to that point, and that's where I'm going to actually perform most of my maneuver. We can head into map and take a quick look here. So you can see our apoapsis is 73,000 meters. Let's head back here, and we'll probably go up to about half throttle. That we have some measure of control. I am going to keep my finger on the X to try to cut it. I'm going to have to make sure I leave enough delta V to come back. So I want to leave at least like 100 meters a second there. But that's still going to leave us 700. So it's going to bring us around 2300. I do believe that's going to be enough to get into orbit. Not by much, but it is enough. So despite my inefficient launch, despite my very inefficient launch and a rocket that wasn't exactly designed to do this, we're doing pretty good, I think. Let's see, we're up to 400 meters a second. Our periapsis is coming quickly. Let's slow down a little bit here. I do want to make sure I leave enough in the tank. Not quite. And that's orbit, I believe. Yeah. We've achieved the orbit. Look at that, guys. And how much fuel do we have left? Where is my, that's not it. 64 meters per second. That is not a lot of delta V left. To be honest, I'm not sure. We might have to do a few loops before we come back. We're going to be able to burn down into the atmosphere, but then we're going to have to do some loops coming back. But that's alright. I think we're doing alright. Let's take a quick look here. Yeah, I should have come to this view because I was at 70 here, so I was burning here to bring my periapsis around this way. And I should have slowed down once this apoapsis started coming around and it was up in the 80s. I should have stopped and let myself come around and then burn on this side to bring that periapsis up. But that's all right. We made it into orbit still. We've got 40 odd delta V to come back, so we'll burn that at apoapsis at some point. That should drop this down maybe into the 50s. If it goes into the 50s, I think we'll be pretty good. It might slow us down only enough for maybe we might still skim out of there, but that should be all right. We don't have anything. We're not in a craft that's all that bad in terms of in terms of the orbital mechanics or orbital how it comes in. It'll orient itself. So let's just check out. We've still got quite a bit of electric charge. We'll charge it up when we burn to go into the atmosphere. We're going to use a little bit of it to get into the correct orientation, but not too bad. So for now, let's just you know what? Let's warp around to the other side. I want to get onto the day side, so let's do that really quickly. It's giving us a bunch of science reports for EVAs, going over different biomes and that sort of thing, but I'll come around to this side. I'll take some EVAs there. I believe I'll get a bunch on that side. And then I'll try to recover the data, take some new data, that sort of thing. Okay. We're into the sun. Let's see what our... Orient ourselves like that. And let's do an EVA report. So we should take a quick EVA. We're still hanging on. That's good. I don't really want to not hang on here. Let's take the data from the crew report and we'll store it back. I don't know if we'll be able to take another crew report in space, but we'll see if we can. Let's take the data from that as well. And from the temperature data. So take data and then board. And now we have the temperature. We'll be able to take temperature data and the atmospheric data. Perfect. So we got a whole bunch more science there. Let's see, display the temperature. Can we do that? So it's 328.97. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. It's saying we can do a temperature scan. Oh. Oops. I didn't keep the data. Okay. There we go. Now we don't have anything. There we go. You know what? I'm going to EVA and collect the data very quickly. Data, and then we'll just board. Perfect. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let's see if we can't get back in there. So I'm gonna need to, I can't do a maneuver node yet, but I'm gonna just fast forward. Can't go faster than that. That's alright. It's saying we can do an EVA report, so let's do a quick EVA. Look at that, flying over the desert. The moon coming up in the horizon. We don't quite have enough fuel to get there today, but maybe at some point. Or for sure at some point. We're going to do that at some point, so let's get out, take the EVA report, store that, board. It's saying another EVA report is available over the highlands. Store experiment over the mountains. Store experiment, more EVAs. And that's it. Okay, So we got some data. That's fine. Let's go back here. We're gonna keep warping. You know, I'm gonna take SAS off, and we'll just warp all the way around to Apoapsis. So these are all from the shores. So as we're briefly coming over the shores, we get a note that we can do an EVA. Let's slow down right around here. So we're a minute away from our Apoapsis. Let's get back in here, turn the SAS on. We're going to do a retrograde burn. Is that retrograde or prograde? Oh, that's prograde. Okay, I couldn't tell what the... Whoops, and we overshot it. Quite a bit, actually. Okay, so we only have a second of delta V remaining. So I'm just going to let us come right to the Apoapsis and then use all the remaining fuel. And we'll see how far this comes down. Likely not enough, but we'll see. Might end up just doing a bunch of aero braking. Accelerate this just a little bit. Want to be as efficient as possible with this burn. And go. So that actually brought us right into the atmosphere. Nice. We're actually a little bit, yeah, that'll be good. Perfect. So we did have enough. Alright, so let's, coming into, are we going to be landing? We're going to be landing on the daylight side too. Nice. Okay, so let's face retrograde. Yeah, that's the way we want to do it. We're going to give ourselves a little tiny extra delta V that way. And then we're going to want to orient ourselves somewhat like this. Yeah, I think so. Turn that off. And let's go into map view. We'll see when we enter the atmosphere again. Okay, so we've gotten into the atmosphere again. I'm not going to do an EVA at this point. It's relatively reckless to do that here. Let's turn SAS on and just orient ourselves a little bit like so. I'm going to want to have the capsule facing up, let's say. Like that. Okay, so we can fast forward until we get some heat effects here. Probably into the 40 or 50 kilometer range, I would say, maybe. I'm not sure. So at this point, I mean, you've got your chute. You want to be careful about hitting spacebar. You don't want to plummet your Kerman right into the atmosphere, very deeply into the atmosphere without any protection. It's a little bit... Oh, there we go. That's why I was doing that. Okay, so now as soon as I turn the SAS off, it oriented itself correctly. Again, I'm not going to do an EVA report at this point. I think we're going to be alright. I don't really see any problems with what we can get. We can get some temperature and pressure scans, however. We're well into the atmosphere. We're going to be landing in the water, it looks like. And I might as well hit the parachute at this point. Take a crew report, flying over the water. Nice. So yeah. Oh, that's why I was going so fast. I didn't realize I had that on, but that's alright. At this point it's fine. We're just going to come in for a nice gentle landing. And we're going to be deploying the chute very soon. There it goes. Down to 5 meters a second. We're fine. We're going to land. Valentina's been the first Kerbal to orbit Kerbal, or the Kerbal. And that's it. We're into the water. It's saying we can do an EVA. Might as well do that. Let's see about that. Or do you have to be not in time warp? I guess not, eh? Do you have to be in the water? Probably. What the heck is going on? This is glitching pretty, Look at that. She's floating in the air. She's levitated. Okay, let's see if we can't get back on here. Be nice to be able to board again. Grab and board and recover. Nice. $159 science. Perfect. So we're well set off. We're gonna have a bunch of extra science here that we can use. Got some money from that, so we're up to 300 Kerbal dollars. Valentina's gained some experience. She'll be able to control the spaceship nicer. And night has set. Look at that nice solar system right off the horizon. Or sorry, solar system. The galaxy. So I guess that's the Kerbal Way? Is that what it is? The Kerbal Way, or the Kerbal Galaxy? Or Kerbal Galaxy? Or I'm not sure. Or what do Kerbals have for milk, I guess, is what the question is. Do they have like a different kind of milk or something, or cream or something? The creamy way? That sounds wrong. But yeah, so was a good episode. We got to orbit. Our pad's upgraded. We'll probably upgrade our tracking station after. We have upgraded the mission control. And yeah, we got a bunch of extra science to spend. So we'll be back next time. I'll let you guys know what I did in the R&D, and we'll be back next time. Great. Thanks, guys.